Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. Again, this is not the official first episode. This is just me playing around with the settings. I am testing out the new lighting that I have. I can see you guys better. I'm coming on here to draw some attention to the first episode Tuesday, January 13th, 5 p.m. I will be live. Anybody and everybody that is online on YouTube or Facebook, if you want to come into the comment section and start talking to me, I will talk back. I'm going to be on here for about 30 minutes or so. Don't really have a whole lot planned for this show. Again, I was just messing with my settings, trying to make sure everything looks right, checking out my lighting. If you can see me better than you have in the last few times I've been live, let me know. I appreciate that. Here's a look at our upcoming shows coming across the ticker at the bottom. Again, I do appreciate you guys tuning in, liking, commenting, sharing. Share the heck out of this. I appreciate it like no other. I just can't tell you guys how much it means whenever you share my stuff, you like my stuff, you interact in any way, shape, or form. It means a lot. And when the first episode airs on Tuesday, I cannot wait to see you guys interact with us because me and Kate have a nice little pilot episode ready. Got a special guest lined up as long as his schedule meets up for that. If it doesn't, me and Kate's going to do the show without him. We'll reschedule his appearance and keep going with it. We're going to roll with the punches because that's what we were taught to do. I've affiliated myself with Scott Larson, #truth, and he just didn't give up. He dealt with every hardship the first few years of podcasting, and now his viewership is like no other. So I'm here for you guys for, like I said, for about 30 minutes or so. I'm going to do this just to gauge interaction. Check out my settings. The new intro video I had made, I love it. Adjusting my settings. I can see myself pretty well in the lighting here. I want to see if you guys can see me. Let me know in the comment section. Let me do this. See if this shows up like it's supposed to. 1 minute. It's the wrong place. Go back down here. Sorry, I'm talking to myself. I need expert advice. I did something in the wrong place. Gotta get it loaded so I can put it up on the screen for you guys to see. While I'm waiting on that, I'm gonna go back over and show my sponsors some love. If you haven't already checked them out, check out over at W Energy Drink. Great energy drink. Does not have the crash of modern energy sodas. You determine how strong the flavor is. W.GG to order. Use the coupon code Nexus for 10% off your order. So this is what I want to show you guys right here. This is the reason we are launching this podcast. Excuse me. Caitlin and I are going to be talking about each individual book, and we're going to start with the book that started it all off, which is the Hometown Justice Homecoming, the blue book there. We're going to go through it, Rebellion, Aftermath. Then we're going to do the spinoff with Casey Elkins, The Idol. We will eventually discuss the Tygapagon book. It's a spinoff that I did. It's a prequel. But it's not important to the overall story of Hometown Justice, the first arc. The Tygapagon prequel brings in elements that you need to know about for the second arc, which is very awesome. My personal opinion. I've got some sponsorships here that I want to share with you guys. TCW New Year's Mayhem, January 24th, 2026. Doors open at 6, bell time 7. General admissions 10, ringside's 15. Shelby City Park, Shelby, North Carolina. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the venue that I saw my first wrestling show at, and I've been hooked ever since. I was in middle school. I forget who the company was that ran the show, but I remember, God rest his soul, I remember Chris Thunder Anderson coming over and consoling me and several of my friends because the Hardy Boys were scheduled to be there and they no-showed the event for whatever reason. And Thunder, again, God rest his soul, he was an amazing person. I miss him, miss the conversations I've had with him. He's an independent wrestler, big name here in the Carolinas, and he came over and made the show worth it for us that were excited to see the Hardys, and the Hardys didn't show up. So yeah, Shelby City Park, very near and dear to my heart. I urge you all to go out and watch TCW put on that high octane, high impact entertainment that the Carolinas are known for. I also have been advertising for my buddy Cody, Eye Catching Customs. He can do anything that you ask him to do within reason, and if he can't do it himself, he learns himself how to do it. That's what I admire about this kid. He's able to do things that people 30, 40 years older than him can't do. He sets his mind to do something and he does it. Ladies and gentlemen, give Eye Catching Customs a try. And then, of course, there's Garden of Eden Photography. Eden Jamerson, one of my close friends. She did Amber's maternity shoot before Tyson was born. And we tell everybody this every chance we get. Eden does more poses behind the camera to get the perfect lighting, the perfect angle than you do in front of the camera. She's affordable. Check her out. I promise you won't be disappointed. Hang on, there's more. I just got to get it all loaded up in here. I thought I had it ready, but I didn't. I'm slacking today. It's okay. I got some stuff loading. Give me a second. I'm just going to flash all of my sponsors real quick. Well, give me a second. I'm going to run over to Facebook. I don't know why this isn't showing up on my phone, but it isn't. Un momento, por favor. There we go. All right. So I'm gonna rattle off some more of my sponsors real quick. Give them a little bit of airtime. So of course you guys know about my sponsorship with Dubby, energy drink company. The smiley face logo is theirs as well. This is the tiny w.gg. Use the coupon code Caro Nexus for 10% off. Lil Daddy's Barbecue and Mo. If you want some good Southern food, ladies and gentlemen. This is where you need to go. I promise you, you will not be disappointed. Hit them up on Facebook, get their menu, check them out. Delicious does not even begin to describe it. I promise you will not be dissatisfied. I've known that man for years. He started out as a fry cook at Wendy's. Now he's got his own company. Go check him out. He is one of the coolest people you'll ever meet. If you ever get a chance to sit down and talk to him, he will talk your ear off. I will warn you that. But he's a good businessman, and he's a damn good chef. Diverse Tax Solutions, ladies and gentlemen, go check them out. Do your taxes this year. It's that time of year. Promise you won't be disappointed with their services. And then this, ladies and gentlemen, is Bliss Day Salon and Spa. Proudly serving the citizens of Cleveland County with your self-care needs. Everything from a deep tissue massage to getting your hair dyed will happen here at Bliss Day Salon and Spa. Ladies and gentlemen, go check her out. When you're there, tell Suki that Alex sent you. It ain't gonna get you a discount, but she'll know who sent you, and that's what matters. Also, I'm supported by the Lady Hawks youth softball team. Their coach, Ashley Gann, she's a very good friend of mine. The team is coming together off the rip. They're doing things that might seem impossible for a youth group, but this year they're facing down that championship with the intensity of the Hawk, and that's why Carolina Nexus supports them. And then last but not least, the truth. Scott Larson inspired Carolina Nexus. Scott Larson has dedicated himself to giving you something to invest in. And when I first released Hometown Justice, he told me it was something that he could invest in and wanted me on his show. So I came on the show, and this is where we're at. Hey, Miss Baloo, how you doing? I see you down there lurking. I'm just going through my sponsors and affiliates right now. I've already shared TCW's page or flyer, but here it is again for everybody that missed it. And then, of course, there was what I did last night. It was something that happened off the rip. The Carolina Nexus After Dark, raw, in your face, unfiltered, unedited. We talk about anything and everything. That'll probably happen once in a blue moon when I'm bored, but something I kickstarted, and I had a really good turnout. Zach Courier came on. In my opinion, he's a local celebrity that needs more spotlight shined on him. So, yes, I brought Zach on to After Dark. I plan on having him come on the Carolina Nexus podcast in the future, especially when we're discussing Casey Elkins' characters, because there's a reason that I need him on for that. But yeah, guys, anybody want to come in and chit chat? Let's do it. I went through all my sponsors now. So one of the things I've been talking about doing for the first episode is this contest we're wanting to run to generate involvement from the fans and from the viewers. We're going to do a contest, bunch of names. If depending on the entries, I don't have a limit on how many people can enter. You pay an entry fee, and you will be entered into a contest to try to win a box set of the first 3 books of the Hometown Justice series. All three books will be signed by myself, and if you would like them signed by Kate, they will be signed by Kate, my co-host. If you are local, we'll do our best to get them to you. If you're not local, we'll make arrangements to have them shipped to you. We'll do that off air though, so nobody knows your shipping address and all that good stuff. We will make it happen. And that's going to kick off and have more details for you on Tuesday for the first show. Ladies and gentlemen, again, I appreciate all the support. I think the way I'm going to narrow it down and break it down for the show is there's going to be 3 segments. The very first segment is going to be for our special guests, if we have one for that show. If not, we're going to dive right into it. There's going to be special guests. Then we're going to do the character and lore discussion of my books. And then the final segment, we will decide what the next episode will be about. The pilot episode is going to be a Granger, like broad picture type deal. I'm going to give you guys a look into what caused me to write the books, what inspired the books, what changed since the very first draft I wrote back in high school to the day. You'll be able to see all that. And obviously, I'm not going to cover it all in one episode. I'll be here for like 12 hours. But within the 2-hour time period that I'm going to be doing shows for, we'll make it happen. And the thing about it is, I have a story to tell and I want to get it told. And there's only so much about myself and the journey I've been on that you could put on the back of the book. So the Carolina Nexus podcast is how I'm going to do that. Tune in if you're interested in that type of stuff. Not only will you get backstory on the characters and the lore in the story, you'll get backstory on how and why I wrote it. And I think that's going to be interesting. Caitlin is most interested in that because she was really little when I started writing these. I was in high school. She was born February, my senior year of high school. And she remembers me working on my computer, typing and doing stuff as she got older. And I always told her I was going to write a book and get it published. And she was the only family member I had that kind of believed in me. She encouraged me to do that. So yeah, and that's why I brought her into this venture, because she's one of my biggest supporters. She's one of my kids that I can bounce ideas off of and see how she relates to them. And I give her so much credit for that. She's also the driving force behind the Casey Elkins series, because it's like that first book. She was hooked. She didn't want to put it down. She read it within a weekend. And then she started demanding that I give her the second book. Now she's demanding the third book. And she's just one of my biggest supporters. And I got to give her credit where credit's due. She wants to hear the origin story of why I started writing it, what inspired it, and how I made the decision to put these characters into places they were put into. She's also very intrigued about the Easter eggs I've hidden in the books, and we'll get into that on the first episode. I just need everybody to know for a fact, if you have interacted with me in any way, shape, or form in the past 36 years of my life, there's probably a character based off of you in my books. And as I announced on #Truth, in Hometown Justice Rebellion, local celebrities have allowed me to use their characters in the books. Cade Seidel and Big Country, the Southern Punisher, they allowed me to use their wrestling names, their wrestling characters in the books to do a fantasy booking of sort. And it takes place. It's really, really amazing that the way I've done it. And because those chapters with those two got so much support from the local indie scene, those characters will be reappearing soon. I'm currently working on Hometown Justice Hostile, getting it published. We're playing this back and forth game with the editor. He'll send it to me, or I'll send it to him. He'll read over it. He'll find some mistakes. He'll send it to me to edit. I'll send it back to him after I finished editing it. He'll go through it again. He'll find more mistakes he didn't find the first time around. Send it back to me. So it's a cat and mouse game we're playing, and I'm getting it out there as quick as I can. Guys, if you're viewing, if you're watching, don't be afraid to comment, to talk. Let me know you're watching. If you got a question to ask it. I'll bring it on the screen. We'll answer it real quick. That's what this little venture is. It's me gauging fan interaction. See what I got to do different. I know you guys don't want to sit here and hear me talk. What's going on, Bree? How you doing today? Need to take my little best friend back to Dollar Tree and get her some marshmallows. For a little insight to you guys that are be watching this later or watching it right now, Bree Morrison is one of my sister's best friends, and by extension, a friend of mine. So I give her a hard time every time I see her. She gives me a hard time every time she sees me. It's just how we work. It's our relationship. What do you know about work? I didn't see you yesterday. You should have come there while I was there. You know I work second shift. My sister, ladies and gentlemen, who is one of my sponsors, has yet to provide me with an updated logo of hers, so I can't put it on the screen for her. But Style and Jane's Boutique, you'll see it scroll across the bottom of the page. Check her out on Facebook. She makes custom merchandise at affordable prices. Check her out. If I don't mention her name, she'll kill me. So Style and Jane's Boutique, ladies and gentlemen, on Facebook. See, viewers don't lie. Style and Jane's is the best according to Bree. Say, Bree, you said you was there yesterday at my place of employment. Did you enjoy the new layout, or is it too confusing for you? That is the wrong answer, Bree. You should have went in. Now I know building viewership is going to take a while. I'm not going to be discouraged by the lack of viewers. Um, well, to answer that question, I'm using a streaming service called Restream. So it gives me a platform, and I can send it to YouTube and Facebook at the same time. Um, that's how I got all this fancy stuff going on screen. I'm doing it because I'm launching a podcast on Tuesday, and I'm just playing around with the settings and getting used to all this stuff on here right now. You gonna tune into the podcast on Tuesday, right? 5 p.m. Let's see. Like I can do this, Bree. Look, I can change the logo at the top of the screen. Put hashtag truth on the screen. Boo, third shift. I haven't worked third shift since like 2012. Hated it then. I still hate it now. I'm glad I don't have to work many overnights. Though if my boss did ask me to work an overnight or two, I would, but I'd hate it. I hate every second of it. Let's see. Let's go through these sponsors one more time while Bree's paying attention. I got TCW Top Championship Wrestling from Shelby. Their show is January 24th. Bell time at 7. Doors open at 6. Of course, I got Dubby, the Garden of Eden Photography. Hang on, I'm going to bring that up on the screen, Bree. Don't worry. I don't mind it every once in a while either. It's just that working straight third shift all the time, that'll kill you. Eye Catching Customs. Go check them out. My books, you can check all of them out on Amazon. Just type in Charles Cloninger. They'll all pop up for you. Little Daddy's Barbecue and Mo. Some of the best eating you'll get in Shelby. Diverse tax solutions for all your tax needs. Hashtag Truth Indie Wrestling Podcast. Check them out if you're into wrestling. Bliss Day Salon and Spa for all your self-help needs, self-care needs, mental health needs. And, of course, the Lady Hawks Youth Softball Team. Did I go too fast for you there, Bree? So, anyways, as I was saying about me and Caitlin, she's really excited to hear the story of how I came up with these characters, how I based certain characters off certain ones. I will be upholding my legality and letting people know up front at the very beginning of the first of each episode, certain characters I cannot reveal who they were based off of for legal reasons. And when questions are asked about those characters, or when an episode is done about that character, I will let you know if that character can or cannot be explained legally. And there are reasons why I can't explain characters legally. Most often, it's because the person they're based off of did not give me permission to reveal that information to the public. They didn't want anything to do with the character or want a character based off of them. That's the biggest reason. But there are some other smaller reasons. And so I used a rule when creating my characters. If they didn't give permission, which means I couldn't use their name, I would do there's 3 ways I'd handle it. There would be a character in the story that I was basing off this person. I would use their first and last initial and find names that started with those initials to use for the character. Or I'd use their first name, change the last name, use the last name, change first name. And that has worked for me. And the lawyers that I've spoken to have said that's legal. So yeah, I'm really excited. I can't wait to dive into details with everyone about what's going on, what's going to be happening with the show. Really excited about it. So tune in Tuesday night or Tuesday evening, 5 p.m. for the pilot episode. We're going to have a lot going on. I'm asking every viewer to come in with at least 5 questions for me to answer. You ask the questions in the comments. I'll bring them on the screen like I was doing for Bree, and I'll answer them for you. And then if Caitlin doesn't think that I answered it thoroughly enough, she's going to piggyback off your question and ask a more in-depth question. So tune in Tuesday, January 13th, 5 p.m. live on Facebook and YouTube. I'm going to jump off here, ladies and gentlemen. Have a good day. I appreciate you tuning in. Bree, thanks for your interaction. I appreciate it.